and welcome to Ready Bet Action. Happy Friday. It's March 1st. Spring is in the air. This is Ready Bet Action. I'm Jen Jones, and I'm joined by Eric and Stefan. We are coming to you live from YouTube right now. So, hey, hello, hi, how are you?
Hi, YouTube.
How are you, Eric? What's going on? Hi, YouTube.
I'm doing great. I'm so excited it's Friday. This felt like the longest week ever. I feel like we got a string of those like 3-day weeks. For all of us in the normal working world, I feel like we got a string of like those 3-day weekends, like between like Christmas all the way through President's Day. We got like a bunch of random short weeks, and now all of a sudden we're in the brunt. Like this is the butthole of the working season. To which like you don't get a holiday till Memorial Day. Like it's the armpit of the work schedule, President's Day to Memorial Day. And it's like we don't get short weeks, anything like that. So I'm starting to already feel that, and it's only been like a couple weeks since we've had like a short week.
It's
Not to
Friday.
yuck
We don't
anybody's
have to, yeah.
What do you mean it's
What
Friday?
are we doing?
What do you
We're
mean?
having a blast. It's Friday. We don't have to talk about work.
Oh, okay.
It's true.
This is a no
Yeah.
work zone. We're cool. We're a cool podcast. Yeah.
Totally.
We don't talk about work here. Talk about
No.
money and winning. How are you,
Making
Stefan?
money.
Good. All is well. Yeah, I'm good. I was driving home today, and I had this weird thought because there was a dude next to me who was driving like a crazy person, and I was thinking, it really is shocking that we don't see more like accidents than we do, because there's a lot of terrible drivers.
It's a good point.
This is your deep thought for Friday?
Look,
Yeah.
Here, think about the worst driver you know. The worst
you.
driver that you are terrified to get in the car with. They're driving every single day, and they have someone that they're thinking about who's even worse than them.
Are we just talking
And
about
they're
you right now?
Oh, that's mean. I'm not a bad driver. Come on,
You're not
now.
a bad driver. I didn't.
No,
it
but
just felt like you were leading me down that path. I don't know.
I am
No, I'm just.
because when
I'm
Steve
just
said
saying.
picture of the worst two, I immediately thought of two women I know that is terrifying to get in the car with. Sorry.
No, it's fine. No, it's fine.
Anyway, I didn't say it was a deep thought. I said it was what I was thinking about on my drive home.
Fair.
Yeah. All right. Well, this is Ready Bet Action. You can find us on X, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube, and anywhere that you stream, such as Spotify and Apple. Please remember to rate, review, subscribe. Just show us some love and some support. We have quite a few picks to go over tonight, so we're going to try to blast through some of them for you. We're going to start off with Stefan for picks for Saturday. Is that right?
Yeah. So let's do the same thing, if it's all right with you guys, where we start with my Saturday picks, then we'll throw it over to Eric, and then do my Sunday picks. Does that work?
Word.
Yeah.
Perfect. We are going to start in England. We're going to start in the Premier League. We're going to start with Tottenham. Again, Saturday morning. We're going to start with Tottenham versus Crystal Palace. Tottenham are at home. They've had no games in the last 2 weeks because they didn't have any Champions League football. They didn't have a game last weekend. So they had some opportunity to get healthy. Meanwhile, when they were playing, they have been scoring plenty of goals. They've scored 2 goals in 9 of their last 10 games. It was 9 in a row until last week. So they did have, or not last week, 2 weeks ago, last time they played. They did lose to Wolves, which wasn't great. But they're still a good team. They do have, unfortunately, they do not have Richarlison this week, but Timo Werner, who came over in the January window, will help them out. James Maddison, you can get him at plus 300 to score. I kind of like that as well. Crystal Palace is a decent squad. They just got a new manager, but they're not anywhere near Tottenham's level. So we're going to take Tottenham to win and to score over 1.5 goals. What could go wrong there? Our next play is pretty much the exact same play. We're going to take a team to win and score 2 or more goals, and we're going to take Liverpool, who is traveling to Nottingham Forest. Liverpool have done this in 7 of their last 8 games, and they have scored like 3 goals a game on average in those. The only time they haven't done this is when they lost to Arsenal a couple weeks ago. But this is not Arsenal. This is Nottingham Forest. I don't think we have to worry too much about them. In fact, when Nottingham Forest plays against the top 5 teams in England, they are 1-6, and they have given up over 2 in 6 of those 7 games. All that to say, when they play the top competition, they lose and they give up goals. So Liverpool on the money line, over 1.5 goals. This is my favorite play of the week. Next, we're going to take Aston Villa on the double chance. They're going to Luton Town. Luton Town is in second to last place. They're a fun squad at home. They're feisty. They fight hard. They might pull off a huge upset and get a draw in this, but there's no way they're winning it. So we're going to take Aston Villa on the double chance. They've won 3 of the last 4. The last time these two played, they won 3-1. So I feel confident in Aston Villa. If you want to take them on the money line at minus 145, go for it. But we're going to take them on the double chance, and we're going to parlay that with Roma over in Serie A on the double chance as well. They are playing against Monza. Monza's a fine squad, but they're not good. Roma's in 6th place. They have a new coach, and since De Rossi has taken over, they have started scoring goals. They used to score about 1.5 goals a game. Now they're scoring 2.7 goals per game. So they've done really well, and they have won 5 of their last 6 in that time. So again, we just need Roma and Villa to not lose, and we cash this bet. It's a pretty good one right there.
Yeah.
But I'm not done. I've got more for you. We're going to Germany. We are going to take Bayern Leverkusen, who is in first place. They are cruising to victory in the Bundesliga after Bayern drew today. They play against Cologne, who is not a good team. We're just going to take Leverkusen on the money line, and we're going to parlay that with Borussia Dortmund on the double chance. So Dortmund has to just draw or beat Union Berlin, who is a team that is struggling a lot this year. We have picked against them quite a bit, and so we just need Dortmund to tie really is enough. I think they win it outright. So we get this at minus 128, another kind of safe play on this parlay. Kind of going back to our roots, Eric. You remember when we went on that 37-2 run? We're paying some. We don't have the best odds on all of these. We're paying a little bit extra. Like that one is a minus 128. This next one's a minus 160. But I'm all about winning this week. We're going to take Real Madrid versus Valencia. We're going to get that at minus 160. Last time these guys played, Real Madrid crushed them. Jude Bellingham returns for Real. I only see this ending with a Madrid win, but I could see them winning at 1-0, and so that's why I'm not doing the over 1.5. My final play, which I skipped, in Germany, going back, we're going to take RB Leipzig on the money line and over 1.5 goals versus Bochum. Red Bull Leipzig is just a great team with a lot of offensive talent. They've got guys like Xavi Simons, Openda. They will put some goals in behind this Bochum team, and they will win, and we get that at minus 120. And now I'm going to be done with talking about soccer for a few minutes and take a sip of my Bud Light with ice cubes. You can judge
You're
me.
drinking Bud Light with ice?
Yes, sir.
Is this a real thing that he does? I feel like
I'm doing it, Eric. I'm doing it.
I am okay.
You're okay. That's right. You're okay.
Welcome to our white trash haven, Eric. This is,
I guess it's no different than putting like a seltzer over ice, I guess.
It's really delicious. It is. It's delicious.
I think it's time to be a little bit more open-minded now as we enter into this next cycle of life.
Okay.
Anyhow, I'm
Your late
done.
40s? Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Oh, wow.
Well, on that note,
Sometimes
I
we
will talk
make-
about basketball. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, here's a little quick recipe. If you do Bud Light with a little bit of tequila and some lime juice over ice, it's like a
See, that sounds great. It's a
redneck
cocktail.
margarita.
It's a cocktail at that point. It's different. It's different.
Oh, shame. All right.
It's going to keep sipping away here.
I'll stay up here in my ivory tower and judge you, and we can move on to basketball. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to get started with college basketball for Saturday. Actually, everything I have is for Saturday. So let's start with college basketball. I got Florida versus South Carolina. Both teams are ranked. I'm taking South Carolina minus 1.5 at home because I just like South Carolina more. I don't know if I could tell you I have a lot more reasoning. They're having a really fun season. They kind of went from like one of the worst SEC teams a few years ago to like being one of the better ones. I mean, it's a strong conference across the board. I just like South Carolina. I like the season they're having. I think they're better than Florida this year by 1.5. You could probably bet them on the money line too if you want that value. Next, we're moving in to the Big East. I'm going to take Marquette plus 4.5 versus Creighton. Marquette beat Creighton at Creighton, so in Nebraska, by 5. Or sorry, they beat Creighton at home in Wisconsin by 5, and now they are 4.5 point dogs going to Nebraska to play Creighton. So I like Marquette. I like what Shaka Smart's doing up there. They're having a great year. They had quite the drudging. They got drudged against UConn, however. But I really like them to at least cover the 4.5 here for sure. So let's move on to Big 12 basketball. It's probably the strongest. It worries me as a CU fan that we're moving into the Big 12 for basketball. I think we're about to go into a dark era of CU basketball because Tad's not holding up, Tad Boyle, as well as he used to. And this is a crazy conference. So Iowa State, second best team in the Big 12. They are 3.5 point favorites versus UCF, and they're going to UCF. I'm going to go ahead and take Iowa State there. I think they're that much better than an average Big 12 UCF team, even though it is on the road. My second Big 12 pick is Houston, who will probably win the national title. It's going to be like Houston or UConn, I think, are going to be the choices. I'm going to take them minus 5.5 versus Oklahoma, who's another like average to okay Big 12 team. So Oklahoma just doesn't perform well against other top teams in the Big 12. You can see a lot of blowouts in their record when they're playing the better teams in the conference. They've really had most of their success around like the middle to bottom of the Big 12, and that's how they've kind of have a winning record and all that stuff this year. So give me Houston at OU minus 5.5, and honestly, it's just because Houston's the best. I think they can beat anyone by 5.5 points, maybe with the exception of UConn.
Wait, yeah, I was going to say, you placed a future on UConn a couple weeks ago, if I recall, and now you're saying Houston. So are you going to also bet Houston, and that way you just root for either of them?
Or UConn could win this national title. So I'm pretty confident in either team, Houston or UConn. I might just put money on both of them because it's such.
That's what I'm saying.
Money right now, and so
let's make it a show bet.
Yeah, let's put a future on Houston and on UConn to win the national title, and maybe they'll tie somehow. All right, last college basketball bet is in the SEC.
Real quick. If they tie, you lose both bets. No one wins. Point. You need one of them to win, Eric.
That's true. That's a great point.
I'm done.
That's a great point. But at like plus 400 or whatever, we can get it. So I'm going to take Tennessee plus 2.5 versus Alabama. Tennessee won this last matchup. I know they're both ranked. Like Tennessee, I think is 4. Alabama's 14. Tennessee won this last matchup by 20 points a couple weeks ago. So why they're underdogs, I'm not really sure. I get it's on the road. But Tennessee plus 2.5 to just probably straight up beat Alabama, honestly, is probably what I'm going to end up taking personally. But let's just take the points here. All right, 2 NBA picks. Couple quick player props for Saturday. Give me Sadiq Bey for the Hawks over 1.5 points. 1.5 3-pointers made. That's a lot of numbers. He's hit over 90% his last 10 games, and he's been averaging like 2.5 threes a game. So I like that pick. And then I like Vince Williams Jr. for the Grizzlies, under 28.5 points, rebounds, and assists. So the combo of all three of those. He's been averaging around 24.5, and the number set at 28.5 right now. So I like him to get under that against the Trailblazers. Should be a pretty underwhelming game as a whole with those two teams. So
cool. Okay.
One of those. Sorry. Yeah. Just one of those bets that you place the bet and you don't watch the game because it's going to be terrible.
100%. No one's watching the Trailblazers and Grizzlies on a Saturday night when there's so much other stuff going on.
It's choices. All right, we're going to pivot to Sunday, yeah? Have some picks for Sunday?
Yes, Saturday night though we'll be dancing, so
Absolutely.
that's going to be exciting. I'm very much looking forward to that.
Mm.
Oh wow, not
I-
not the response I was expecting. We're going dancing Saturday night, Eric.
I lost you for a second, so I didn't
All
know
right.
that.
Well, that's probably for the best. We're going to move on to soccer, where Burnley host Bournemouth. Both of these teams are pretty awful. One of them is a lot worse. One of them hasn't won since before Christmas. Burnley hasn't won since we were unwrapping presents under the Christmas tree. So they're a terrible team. Company is probably on his way out, other than the fact that when they get relegated, he probably could bring them right back up. But you do have to wonder about the long-term future there. But they're really struggling. So we're going to take Bournemouth on the money line. We get that at minus 105. If you want to take Bournemouth on the double chance and parlay that with any of these other picks, go for it. I'm very confident that Bournemouth walk away with points here. Final play for the weekend, we are going to do a parlay. We're going to take Girona on the double chance as they travel to Mallorca. Girona is the team that was in first place in La Liga for the majority of the season. They have tripped up as of late. They've had a bit of a rough start to the second half of the season. However, they have all the same talent. They have an amazing coach, and they are going against a squad while at home is not a very good team overall. So I think Girona walk away with the win, but I'm definitely confident that they walk away with at least something from this match. So we're going to take them on the double chance, and we're going to parlay that with Inter Milan on the money line at home versus Genoa. Genoa's not ready for this. Inter Milan is one of the top 3 teams in all of Europe, the best team in Italy. They will cruise to victory here. And so this parlay is not for the faint of heart. It's at minus 160, but it's one of those things that I feel like 99 times out of 100 you're walking away winning this bet.
Isn't Genoa a type of salami?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Maybe the salami's from that region.
Maybe they shouldn't
Just
eat so
saying.
much. They'd be better at soccer. Anyways,
Unclog some of the arteries.
yeah,
Let some
just
blood
all
flow
the
happen.
too many cured meats happening on that team.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well,
Oh man, I wonder why we don't
do you
have
guys
so
want to
many
do a quick
followers.
run through?
I would love to do a quick run through.
That's just mean, Eric. Yeah, Eric, let's do a run through. Do you have the show sheet or the slide? I mean,
I do. Let me get this somewhere. Sorry, I'm still slow at technology.
It's
been a long week. It's Friday.
we need multiple buttons. I need one for my Girona. I need one
Oh,
for
yeah.
Serie A. And then I need one
Yes.
for like elder millennial. Anytime that we have like a tech issue, we can just go do-do-do-do-do-do.
Yeah.
Like,
Yes, we need elder millennial issues for sure. I agree.
If
Can y'all
that was a
see
thing, it would follow me around everywhere. Yeah, we can see it.
this?
yeah.
I can't read it because my eyes are terrible, but I can see it.
Do-do-do-do-do-do.
Yeah, exactly.
Millennial. This is what we need. All right, run through with your soccer picks, Emmanuel.
Absolutely. We're going to start in the Premier League on Saturday morning. We're going to take Tottenham on the money line in over 1.5 goals versus Crystal Palace. We're going to take Liverpool traveling to Nottingham Forest to win and score over 1.5 goals. We're going to parlay Aston Villa on the double chance with Roma on the double chance. It's a lot with minus 172, but again, a stone cold lock of the century. We've got Dortmund double chance parlayed with Leverkusen on the money line at minus 128. We've got Leipzig on the money line on over 1.5 goals traveling to Bochum at minus 120. Real Madrid on the money line versus Valencia. Moving over to Sunday, we're going to take Bournemouth on the money line at minus 105, going to Burnley. And final, we have a parlay with Girona on the double chance and Inter Milan on the money line, and we get that at minus 160. My notes for Inter Milan are simply Inter is a machine. That's a surefire winner right there.
Enter versus the salami. That's perfect. All right. Let me run through basketball picks. We got give me South Carolina versus Florida minus 1.5. Give me Marquette plus 4.5 versus Creighton. Iowa State -3.5 versus UCF. Houston -5.5 versus Oklahoma. Tennessee +2.5 versus Alabama. In the NBA, Sadiq Bey for the Atlanta Hawks over 1.5 3-pointers made. And then Vince Williams Jr. for the Memphis Grizzlies under 28.5 points, rebounds, and assists.
Boom. Yeah. All right.
That's it.
Great. Fancy
love it.
spreadsheet, you little. I saw that note. I see that note. I'm assuming that's a Stefan note left for Eric.
So the other day we had a show sheet and Eric dropped a little expletive in there at me, so I was returning the favor, but I don't know if he saw it, so thank you for pointing it out.
I didn't.
Yeah, it's a good comeback when they don't know that you've said it to them, you know? You can
Yeah.
it's a sleeper. It's
Yeah.
a sleeper.
I just assumed it was so effective that it silenced everyone.
Yeah.
I should be silenced, so maybe I should go.
Well, serious. This is a serious podcast.
I'm just going
We
to
talk
start
about work and business.
I'm going to start playing the
Taxes.
outro music whenever Steve gets on a rant at the end of the show.
Okay.
It's like the Oscars.
Deal.
It's just going to start playing over it.
Get like a hook to,
Just
like-
grab my rolly chair and pull it away from the microphone.
Man, you in a nursing home later is going to be wild.
It'll be a good time.
It's
Yeah.
coming.
Well,
All right. Well,
we're all having fun now.
this is Ready Bet Action. I am Jen Jones, and I'm joined by Eric Doran and Stefan Leco. You can find us on X, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and anywhere that you stream, such as Apple or Spotify. We would love a follow, a rate, a review, a little heart emoji, a DM, whatever you got. We'll take it. Yeah, and we will see you next week. Have
Peace
a good
out.
weekend.